Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Euroman Movie Report, the show where I talk about a movie I have recently watched at my local movie theatre. And I would like to begin with to say sorry to my subscribers that I haven't been able to review movies for a while, but I have been very busy with my day job. But anyway, now I'm back. So today we're going to talk about Overlord. Overlord is a sci-fi movie set during World War II, more precisely set during the hours before the famous Western Allied D-Day landings, where we follow a group of American paratroopers and their experiences behind German lines in France around 20 hours before the D-Day landings. They survive the initial power drop, and many of their guys, they are killed during the jump due to German flak guns, which is very close to real life what happened in World War II. However, this is a sci-fi movie. So the surviving paratroopers, they come to this French village where they meet this French woman, Chloe, if I remember correctly, and she tells them that in this small French village, or more precise, hamlet, everything is not what it seems, because the paratroopers' original mission is to blow up this communications tower in order to facilitate free Allied air traffic over France, or that specific area of France, but something below the air tower, below the church where the air tower is placed, it's not what it seems. And it turns out, and here's a spoiler of course, that beneath this French church the Nazis have discovered there's this black goo which the Nazis have refined into this orange stuff, when injected into people makes them into superhuman, or more precisely zombies, people impervious to bullets and who goes and stuff like that. And then, of course, the Allied soldiers, or more precise American paratroopers, they have to both attempt to complete their original mission and try to prevent that the Nazis are able to unleash this terrible weapon. In many ways, this movie, as other critics have talked about long before I made this video, is very reminiscent of previous sci-fi World War II stories. For instance, the very popular Wolfenstein game universe, in which the Nazis have developed every kind of occult weapons, and where the main hero has to save the day. It's also somewhat reminiscent of more direct-to-video movies with a similar subject. If you remember correctly, there's a movie called Outpost, also set during World War II, a direct-to-video, maybe it was the Asylum, I'm not quite sure, which had a somewhat similar plot, that the Nazis have discovered this occult force and they want to use it to win the war. But I must say, the acting was surprisingly very good. One of the most notable actors is native Dane actor Pilo Asbæk, as he's called in Danish, who plays this very vile Nazi SS officer. And I must say, as a Dane, I'm very proud of his performance. And the other actors, like, I just have to look them up here, Jovan Pebo, who plays Boise, he does a very good job in my opinion. And the chick who plays the French woman Chloe, Mathilde Olivier. She does an okay job as well, and so does the other actors like John Magaro and what's his name? Yeah, the other actors in the film, they do a surprisingly good job in a movie of concerning this subject. So it's the CGI and combined with practical effects. I was really entertained because both into World War II and sci-fi. And one concern about this movie, which has been addressed in several instances, is the fact that we have African Americans and Caucasian soldiers fighting together, and they are under the command of an African American sergeant. And the movie really doesn't address that subject, but since this is a sci-fi film, maybe we could claim that maybe we're in this universe in which this movie takes place. Maybe segregation wasn't a thing, or maybe it's just J.J. Abrams trying to, fiddle with history. Who knows? But there's one interesting piece of dialogue in the film which made me think that maybe America is different in this universe than it was in real life, because Chloe, she has a line where she asks Boise, "Do you have wars like this in America?" Or more precisely, "Do you have wars in America?" And he answers, "Not like this." So that piece of dialogue, in my opinion, opens a Pandora's box of what is going on in America. Maybe, besides that segregation in this universe wasn't a thing, maybe there's, who knows, there isn't or there is a partial Confederate uprising, because, or maybe just the actors they chose, that there aren't any actors who speaks with a southern drawl. So who knows? Maybe there's a partial Confederate uprising in the United States while World War II is going on, or maybe the Yetis are walking the streets of New Orleans. Who knows? But it's an interesting universe in my opinion, and of course it sets up for a sequel. And I hope this movie gets a sequel, because having played the Wolfenstein games of yesteryear, we know that there are endless possibilities of which the Nazis can try to enact their revenge on the Allied forces using supernatural things. For instance, in one of the old Wolfenstein games from the early 2000s, or there is something about Himmler. He tries to resurrect this old German warrior king in order to win the war. Or maybe they could use that in a sequel, because the war in this universe, World War II, isn't over. But all in all, Overlord is a very entertaining film for folks who, like me, who like sci-fi and World War II films, and the CGI, practical effects, the acting, surprisingly good. So if I'm going to rate this film, I will give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. That's it, Euroman. I'm Euroman's Movie Report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you like this movie talk / movie review, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch my previous reviews / movie talks, you can click a link in the description. But I would like to wish all my viewers a pleasant weekend, and I promise this time that I will return next weekend with another movie talk / movie review. But until then, have a pleasant Saturday evening, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.